I would now take the pleasure to welcome on stage Mr. Ohad Greenspan, who is going to be our next speaker for the day, who is CTO and the co-founder of Namogoo, to throw light on increased revenue with all recommended promotions personalized to your customer. Can we have a round of applause to welcome the gentleman on the dais?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ohad Greenspan, co-founder and CTO of Namogoo. As you can tell, I'm not from India, I'm from Israel, but we have a very good team here at Onivation, so they're with us today. So we're Namogoo, an Israeli startup, and today I'm going to speak about how our intent-based promotions product is going to disrupting the D2C market globally. And now actually we're doing our first steps in India. But before we talk about the product, because we don't know each other, so I thought to spend like 10 seconds about telling you about myself. I'm an entrepreneur for many years, even before I knew what entrepreneurship is. Before that, did PhD in computer science from Tel Aviv University. And this is my family, married plus 3. A family that I owe them a lot for supporting me, the crazy life of an entrepreneur, as many of them, and many of you can say. So thanks for my family. Namogoo was born 8 years ago. Now 185 employees, raised almost $70 million until now, supporting over 1,000 brands. We work with the best brands in the world, JCPenney and Lowe's and Lenovo and HP and Argos in the UK, H&M and Levi's and Argos, Marks & Spencer. But actually the logo that we're the most proud today and in general is actually boat in here. I'm sure that the guys are here as well. And actually through boat we started to learn the market in India. This is my first visit in India. I traveled globally for many years, but this is my first time. I landed 2 days ago, and I fell in love with the Indian D2C market and entrepreneurs in India. We found, both him and myself, the founders, found people that are so modest, so technology-oriented, so into the details, so hungry for success, and very similar to the place where we come from, so we see a lot of commonality between us. When we met both, and we'll show some details about the case study and we'll elaborate even more, we saw a company that's very hungry to grow and that has also a great fit for our technology, and we'll talk about it a bit later. So thanks both. What Namogoo does, we build the first autonomous customer journey platform. The goal of this platform is to make sure that customers that land on the site or on the web app or on the app go all the way to the end without any interruptions, and yet understand the intent of what they want to do, what they want to achieve, and we make them come back to additional sessions. And we also orchestrate all the services that are running. A single source of truth that orchestrates all the services running on the customer journey. Today, we want to talk about intent-based promotions. And the inspiration for that, actually, if you go to any mall, right, in the physical world, all of us will see the same discount, right? All of us will see 20% discount, which is okay because it's a physical space and the mall doesn't know anything about us. But the irony is that if you go to any website today, I'm sure that all of your websites or mobile apps today, all of your consumers will get the same promotion. Although you know so much about them, you still give them the same thing. And it doesn't make any sense. Or as we talk with our clients, it's so not 2022, right? So we can do much better. So we help the e-commerce market to be actually like Booking.com. Booking, it's very natural. They've been doing it for years. All of us will come to Booking.com and will get totally different rates, although we come from the same place and see the same room, right? Everyone gets the same. Everyone knows that. Same thing for Amazon, same thing for Netflix in the world of content. And the e-commerce market and the D2C market specifically is very much behind the whole travel industry, for example. So we help disrupting this market with personalized promotions that are based on intent that are given in real time. By providing every visitor on your journey, the same promotion at the same time on the homepage usually, you actually lose twice, or we actually lose twice. One, you're giving away too many promotions to people that might buy anyway, right? So they don't need promotions in order to buy because the intent is very high. On the other hand, many users abandon because by providing 15% to all, or 10% to all, or even 20% to all, for some visitors, a big portion of the visitors, and we see it in the data, 20% or 15% site-wide is not enough. You need to be much more dynamic. You need to provide them 22%, 24%, 27%, sometimes 32% in order to convert. So actually you're losing money on one hand and you're losing visitors on the other hand. And since the D2C market is exploding these days in India, there's a lot of competition in the room. So you need to give the best promotion to the best visitor to keep him or her happy. That's the idea. So in intent-based promotions product, we provide every visitor a completely different promotion. Our philosophy, and we built it for marketing teams, for digital teams, is to put as many promotions as you can on the canvas, and then in real time, our engine will select the right promotion to the right visitor at the right time, at the right rate. Right? So that's through coupons or through other means. I cannot expose publicly yet what we have done with both, but I can share that in the first 48 hours that we were deployed on both and continuing until today, since December, we've shown amazing uplift in all the metrics that you want. Conversion rate, RPV, phenomenal, much more than in other places, by the way. Conversion rate, RPV, abandonment rate, huge reduction. And also average discount rate went down significantly because of the selective nature of our engine. So reach out to us, we'll tell you more about it, or ask both. The way that we work is machine learning based. Our world is machine learning, that's what the company does. The idea is to collect many data points as possible on the customer journey, and then in real time predict whether the user is going to buy or not, and also when. We collect things on the behavior of the customer, and also things that you'll be surprised how strong they are in their predictability of the ability of the user or on the intent of the user to buy. Something like if the user has an ad blocker installed, or if the user has a password saver installed. So things in the browser area, things in the device area, environment area, etc. And of course behavior, etc., etc. So the idea is to collect as much data as you can, and then in real time make a decision. The two questions that the engine asks itself at any given point in time along the session is actually two questions. The first one is, when will the user abandon? What you see on the left-hand side. So based on that, we decide when to show the promotion. So if we suspect that the user is going to abandon 5 pages from now or 10 pages from now, we usually prefer to wait. That's the idea. Whenever we think that the user is going to abandon, we would move to the second question, and the second one is how likely we believe the user is going to buy. Based on that, we make a decision if we want to provide a promotion, and if so, how high the promotion would be. So as the probability is lower, our coupon would be more aggressive to make the user purchase. So that's the idea. So it's usually inverse to the probability to buy. And it's quite hard to do it in real time, but we managed to do it well. By doing that, we allow companies not to decide if they want to be bold or conservative. We meet companies that are very bold, very aggressive on coupons, very aggressive on discounts, very aggressive on promotions. And on the other hand, we meet companies that are afraid of promotions, that the brand is very important to them. They say, don't want to get dirty with promotions. But actually, promotions are good, right? Promotions are important for buying. It's part of how we consume online. So we help companies be both conservative and bold at the same time by providing different users different promotions in real time. That's the idea. We're one of the first companies in the world that nailed the first-time visitor challenge. First-time visitors are visitors that come to your journey, You don't know anything about them. They haven't bought, they haven't added to the cart, they haven't visited any category page, any product page, and you need to decide what to do with them. And you need to be fast, because otherwise they will leave to competitor in a few seconds. When we meet companies, we ask them this question: what do you do with them? So they say, we usually collect the data, and after like 2-3 weeks, we start interacting with them. But the irony here is that after 2-3 weeks, they're gone. They're gone to a competitor. So you need to be fast. You need to make a decision on the spot in order to keep them happy, to give them what they need, and to start engaging them to make them buy. That's the idea. We met Flipkart yesterday. We met many, many companies in these 2-3 days. And this is what we showed them. Hopefully we'll start going on production very soon with them. So the tool does not have a sophisticated engine, but also has a very easy to use studio, again, designed for marketing teams, that can very easily, in a few minutes, design a campaign, launch it, and through API, integration with APIs of the platform, Shopify, Magento, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, and all the rest, and also homegrown solutions. We're able to generate coupons, fill them in the warehouse, and then in real time be able to hand it over to the right user. That's it. I would like to thank Onivation. Onivation is a partner of ours here in India, but actually it's way more than a partner. We became like cousins. Very, very active. We see them as an extension of our team here. So we welcome you to either catch me, Chemi, my partner and CEO of the company, Kobe, who leads the partnerships in APAC, which are also very, very active in India, and also the Onivation team, Saket, Kaveri, and Raj. And we'd be happy to talk to you and do some magics together. So thank you very much. I think that's my last slide. Thank you. Any questions?
Hi. I just want to know how dynamic are these promotions? I mean, in what range they vary based on the consumer A to consumer B? And during a journey of a customer, how many times do you want to nudge them before they get offended that it's too much nudging with promotions?
Yeah, good question. Thank you. The preference is to nudge as less as possible, and actually a vast majority of the consumers do not get any promotions because many of them have high intent to buy. So by saving these promotions, by being more let's say patient, we're able to to take like around the 25-30% of the audience and not show them anything. So actually we contribute to the customer experience. If we show only once. So the idea, the power of the engine is that you can put, let's say, 20 different promotions on the canvas, on the tool. Let's say one promotion for Facebook, one promotion for mobile, one promotion for organic user, one promotion for users with high intent. But then comes a user that is all of them, right? It comes from Facebook, it comes from mobile, is organic traffic, etc. The engine will select only one promotion, if at all. So instead of nudging with the user with different promotions, we will select only one promotion, if at all. Many of them will not get anything. And if we do it only once. Regarding the range, if I got the question correctly, range of promotion can be quite wide, broad. It really much depends on what you want from the tool. Our average, I would say the best practice would be to go between 10 to 30%, and of course 0 is also a number. Was that the question on the range? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Wanted to know, not from a tool, but more from a practical deployment perspective, that how retailers are doing. Are they going from 10% to 50% based on the intent, or it is 10 to 20% based on intent?
Yeah, so usually we tend to keep the average around the average, but the beauty here is that many customers will get 22, 18, 19, 17. So this is something that is not really seen in the market today. So now it's usually you see 20%. It's very predictable. So we keep a very good distribution of promotions. And actually, we see, the fun fact is that we see consumers getting it like some kind of a game. Every day is different. So our policy is to flash the decisions every day. So the decision that was taken today will be persistent until the end of the day. But tomorrow is a different game. So we see consumers coming back to see what's new. Because when the world is very predictable, it becomes boring. So we keep it engaging, and we see consumers coming back to see what's new on the site. So we also have managed to increase retention rate significantly because of the nature of the solution.
Hello, good morning. Hi, Art. Welcome to India and Nama Bangalore. I have a question in terms of the customer journey. So where exactly you have the intent to offer the promotions, like which stage of the customer journeys you offer the promotions to the user? Thank you.
When on the session, you mean?
Yeah, and on which stage of the journey, on which stage of the customer journeys you have the promotions to be offered to the user?
Yeah, so the best practice is to give the engine the room to play, the freedom to play wherever it wants. So it can be, promotions can be given on the homepage, on the category page, product page, category, even after the purchase, et cetera, and it's always very, very dynamic. So that was the question on the customer journey?
Yep.
Yeah. By the way, something we haven't mentioned, but yesterday we saw the Go Quick logo here. We met the CEO, Shirag, of Go Quick. Amazing person, not sure if he's here or not. But actually, we started discussing a partnership with the Go Quick to do an auto-apply capability. So Go Quick showed amazing results for checkout. So the plan is to have our promotions being auto-applied directly to Go Quick checkout page, which can provide amazing results. So it also becomes even more smooth along the session.
So you mentioned Flipkart, right? Flipkart inherently is a tech company. Like they have perfect data maturity, data structure. They know how to play around with data. What about companies which are not tech companies, like D2C brands? And in a market like India, like the biggest question that always comes is, data maturity. How am I capturing it? It's in silos across multiple places. So what is your advice to those D2C brands for whom such kind of personalization seems like a very last mile, fulfillment sort of a thing, whereas you just mentioned that it can be integrated at every touch point in the customer journey. So how would you go and convince them that right now with whatever system that they have so far, this is still good to go and it doesn't really need that level of data maturity or sophistication that probably in the West or outside India usually is present?
Right, very good question. Thank you. Yeah, so Flipkart is a very sophisticated company, but actually we like to work with I would say the younger babies or the children to take them hand in hand to grow, to see companies, small companies or even companies like Boat exploding. It gets us so excited. And the way we do it is, although the foundations of the Namogoo is a very, very heavy tech company, but we try to think as simple as possible and to build products that are very simple for marketing teams and digital teams and product teams to work with. So the whole tool, and once we demo it to you, you will see, is designed for non-tech companies whatsoever. So all the data that we collect ourselves. We do not rely on the engineers to feed segments into the system. We do everything by ourselves. So when it's Shopify, the regular platforms, it's even easier to fetch data about the products, but we built our engine on data features that do not rely on anything from the platform. For example, the things on the device, to be able to work on any site. So we met so many companies, Wow, Skin Care yesterday, and many companies. Some are more mature. We met with many of the engineers, but we met companies that are very non-mature in terms of technology. The tool is very simple. So if it's the major platforms, it's a plugin. If it's a non-platform like homegrown custom platform. It's a JavaScript tag. You just deploy the tag, you upload a bunch of coupons. If it's a plugin, then we generate the coupons on the fly through the API. And it takes about 3 minutes to launch a campaign. So you choose a template, you upload an image. It's very like DIY kind of tool. Do it yourself, and you select your image, you select your text, you fill out, you define the audience, select the range of coupons, and you go live. So it's super, super easy, and I invite you to try.
Thank you so much for the lovely questions from the audience. So now I take the pleasure to welcome Mr. Lokesh Arora, the Portfolio Director from Indian Retailer, to kindly join us onto the dais to honor Mr. Ohad, please. I request the hostess to kindly help us with the giveaway for the day, please. Can we have Mr. Ohad on stage?
Go on stage. Thank you very much.
Can we have a round of applause, audience?